Welcome to lesson 148 of A Course in Miracles. I am Judith and you're at the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students by the Lucid Mind Center. Now we are in the review period 4 and there is this core idea which is my mind holds only what I think with God. So the way that we are going to do this, we're first going to read the idea, the lesson and the two ideas which we are reviewing today. And then afterwards, I'm going to guide you to a Qigong class, which is suitable for those lessons. We're also going to contemplate the two ideas and see what comes up. Before we start, remember to subscribe to my channel and also let me know at the end how this has been for you. Let's begin reading our lesson. Lesson 148 goes like this. My mind holds only what I think with God. This is our core idea. And the first idea, which is from lesson 135, which we are reviewing, goes like this. If I defend myself, I am attacked. And I very much remember this particular lesson when I did it the very first time. And I observed myself that if I defend myself, and I'm actually not defending myself as much as other people do, but I have noticed it in meetings that people started their speech defending themselves, like protecting themselves, expecting an attack. And this lesson was very clear to me. I could very clearly see it in myself and others. So if you are defending yourself in any shape or form, that means that you are perceiving yourself to be attacked. So even if you're being attacked, if you're actually being attacked, you feel that you're being attacked, but you don't look at it as an attack. You rather look at it as a mistake of that other person. And if you do not defend yourself, if you're rather shining the light out, then the other person seems to calm down. Obviously, when you're having a physical attack, you're probably going to defend yourself, but this is also because the body is going to take over. The bare physical survival instinct is going to take over. But it's not about the physical instinct anyway. It is not that what is the problem. The problem is the planned attack we are doing and the planned defense that we are doing. So this is what we're going to contemplate in our Qigong class. If I defend myself, I am attacked. And the second idea we are reviewing today is sickness is a defense against the truth. Now, this is a difficult one, especially for some of us who are experiencing sickness. So sickness is a defense against the truth. And I have had various sicknesses. One of the things which I always have problems with, and it's getting worse as I'm getting older, is my weight. I don't seem to be able to knock it off. And even though I am consistently on diet, I've been on diet for 30 years or something. Also, I have given birth to 4 children and all 4 children with cesareans. So there is an issue there. And I've also had 2 laparoscopies. So I have been 6 or 7 times on the operating table. And I've told you about the sinusitis and also I had very severe anemia when just before I entered into menopause, almost died because I didn't go to the doctor. So I know about sickness, but I have never been chronically sick. So I have had periods of sickness, maybe for longer times, and then I healed again. But what I found for myself, and I have mentioned this in a different class, probably about when we were in that class, is to understand why do I have this sickness. I observed it. Even when I had accidents, I observed it. And the idea to me came from the books which I read from Louise L. Hay, because she said that every single sickness is psychosomatic and even accidents are showing you something where you have got a mental blockage. So if you have an accident, so for example, if you're walking and you hit your toe on a chair, that means that you were not aware of that obstacle which is in front of you all day long. You still hit it. That means there is some kind of mental obstacle you have in front of you which you are not aware of, and you're constantly hitting yourself against it. This is like a small accident. But if you, for example, have a car accident, if somebody is driving into you in the back, for example, that means that you may be in somebody's way, so that you can observe. So it doesn't mean that you're easily going to figure out what the problem is, but it's just a way to observe it's like almost if it was a message from your subconscious, kind of, well, this is what I'm not dealing with. So I have never investigated about the cesareans, but there's obviously an issue there. But they are over. I healed rather fast after them. And I had a ectopic pregnancy. Also almost died there because the doctor thought I had a gas. And the ectopic pregnancy, I remember I had it because I felt guilty. I felt really guilty because I had unclean ideas about my relationship and other partners. And so I felt guilty about having those thoughts and those ideas. And then I produced an issue within my uterus, which then closed off the tubes, and then the egg couldn't travel into the tube. Then I had this ectopic pregnancy and all this, blah, blah, blah. So it was a long story before I figured out what this all was. And this is, maybe it's silly what I'm telling you. Maybe it cannot apply to you, but maybe it can. So just think about it and see if that can help you in any shape or form. So sickness is a defense against the truth. So if it's a defense against the truth, there is some kind of truth behind that sickness. The same as there is kindness hidden behind the anger, according to Chinese medicine, or there is love and patience hidden behind hate and impatience in the heart, or inner peace is hidden in the kidneys behind fear. So just consider it and see what comes up to you. And then, of course, the most important idea is, and also we are repeating it now for 10 days, my mind holds only what I think with God. This means that your mind can be as positive and as shining and full of light and as lucid as the divine mind, if you allow yourself to do it. And this is just a question of observation. And here we are actually having 10 days of observation. Is what mind am I actually thinking with? Am I thinking with the mind of God, with the mind of light, with the mind of my higher self, with the mind of the love which I truly am? Or am I thinking rather with the ego mind, defending myself, making myself sick, making my body sick, as an expression, prove to myself that my body is, that I am not eternal, you see? So observe. It's very much about observation. I mean, Eckhart Tolle, I think he's leaning quite a lot of his teachings on the Course in Miracles. He always says, you are not the mind. You are the observer behind the mind, the one who is observing what your mind does. And just kind of try to do this. Who is this observer? Is that the mind which thinks with God? Is that the one? Words are just symbols of symbols and twice removed of reality. So don't get hung up on words. Just observe and experience. And once you get it, once you understand it, then you just need to choose the right word to transmit this idea to somebody else. I hope this makes sense to you. For this particular review period, I have prepared 2 Qigong classes. One is seated, one is standing, and both of them, they are undoing negative emotions. We are going through all the 5 organs and the central channel to release the blockages we often put there unconsciously. And then after that, we are going to sink into the idea what this actually means. My mind holds only what I think with God. What does it actually mean? And then after we have really become aware of the meaning of that, then we're going to apply the 2 lessons. We're going to have one period from each one of those lessons we are reviewing, where we are going to connect again to our true self and also allow our higher consciousness, our higher self, our holy self, to actually maybe add something, a missing piece for our understanding. Here is the seated Qigong class. Here is the standing Qigong class. And up here you have got the whole list of Qigong classes which are specially made for A Course in Miracles students. Enjoy and let me know how it goes.